I mean, we do want this to be light, fun, family entertainment. But we also want to have, it is always good to get your point across when you have a point. And there were points I wanted to get across. And I don't regret saying anything, regardless of how controversial it might be. Oh no, he's getting controversial again. He's saying things that would prevent him from ever being elected to public office in the future. Oh, isn't that terrible? I will never be able to be your president or anything like that. Well, who knows? Unless what I say becomes suddenly super popular, and everyone was like, he was a prophet, and then I get whisked into office with great support. What's this? A country club. I like the idea of a country club. We'll have it right here. So yeah, those are basically the things that are going on. As far as SimCity 4, well, all those ideas I talked about in previous episodes are still on the table. I am not going to take those off the table. It all depends on how much demand there is, Supply and demand. We are a capitalist economy here on the Bone Canoe channel. Regardless of whether you like that or not, that is how we roll. Oh man. But I'm at least going to finish this dinky little place. I shouldn't say that. Valtimore is a really cool place. Speaking of Valtimore, I was in the real Baltimore just a couple weeks ago. I was visiting my friend Markatron, also known as 47 Planet Baxterian here on YouTube. Hasn't made any videos in a long time, but has hinted to me that he might do some Minecraft videos once 1.7 comes out. If and when he does that, I will be sure to let you all know. But yes, I was down in Baltimore area. Didn't actually go into the city itself, but I was in the, the outlying suburbs of Baltimore, and it's very nice. Is it just me, or are the light cycles, not the Tron light cycles, but like the actual cycles of light, are they longer in Maryland and Delaware than they are in Pennsylvania? Because I swear, I was waiting at plenty of red lights a lot longer than I thought made sense. I mean, I could have been imagining things, but that was my experience. But it's not really a big deal. I mean, everyone has to be accommodated in the traffic, But yeah, Baltimore was fun. Of course, when I got out of range of my local Philly stations on the radio, since I have an old car with a broken tape deck, I pretty much have to rely on the radio for my entertainment. So once I got out of range for my beloved Philly rock station WMMR, I flicked around to see what kind of rock stations Baltimore had. And it had one that I forget the name or the call sign, but it was a good station, so I kept the radio locked on that during my time in the Baltimore area. And they were going nuts down there about the starting of the Ravens season, which makes a lot of sense, seeing that the Ravens are the most... Ooh. Courthouse. Where can we put the courthouse? In the courthouse complex, of course. There's a reason I left room there. But anyway, yeah, since Baltimore was the most recent champs, it's no wonder that they were going nuts. Out of their minds with excitement for the new season. And I know that talking to nerds about sports most of the time will just get a whole bunch of bored people. But I have to say, my Philadelphia Eagles are 1-0. Whether that continues or not remains to be seen, but we're off to a great start. So, I mean, well, last year we won the first 2 games. We were 3-1, and we ended the season 4-14, which was absolutely pathetic, and almost made me want to jump ship on the Eagles. But I'm a Philly person, and I realized that I could not turn my back on any Philly team, even if they are going through a time period of suck. So, that is kind of cool. And I've pretty much completely tuned out of the Phillies for the rest of this year because, sigh, they've gone to the suck wagon. And, yeah, it's pretty sad. So, I was thinking about, since I had a really good experience in Boston last year, and I went to Fenway Park and saw a Red Sox Yankees game. Since I saw the game, and I was thinking to myself, it's like, well, if I pick a team from the American League to root for, that wouldn't be cheating on my Phillies in any way, would it? And so I thought about it, and I was like, well, if I was to pick an American League team to root for, I would root for the Red Sox. Because, well, I mean, I have heard of Phillies-Yankees hybrids, but I couldn't root for the Yankees. I mean, come on. Why would I do such a thing? And I had a good experience in Boston, and, I've always, I don't know. It's just something that I could see myself getting behind. So, maybe I will have my main Phillies, of course, that I root for, and then on the side, I could root for those guys. I don't know. Anyone who knows anything about baseball, certainly anyone who knows more than me, because I don't know much, is that incompatible? Is there anything wrong with rooting for both those teams? I want to hear, because I think it's alright. And it's always better because, I mean, of course, if the Phillies and the Red Sox play each other, I will, of course, still root for my Phillies. And in fact, that did happen. I went to a Phillies-Red Sox game last year, which sounds weird to anyone, who still isn't used to the American League and National League teams playing each other. But, it is something that happens, and I was there, and I rooted for my Phillies, and they lost. Sigh. But that was last year. That was before I had any inkling of possibly also rooting for the Red Sox. So, that is where that stands. So, don't know what anyone feels about that. Of course, if you're a Yankees fan, then your opinion doesn't count. So, that's what that is. So, there we go. We're doing a nice job to sort of close up this area. I'm liking how this area is turning out. I still like the idea that I had recently of doing an alternate Valtimore. You could call it an Altamore. Whatever. Yeah, shut up. But an alternate Valtimore where the low density limit is sort of blown away and high density comes in and takes over, and how the city would cope with that. I think that might be fun given the challenges. I'll have to make transit, maybe make some highways, decide what things are worth demolishing, what things are worth keeping. It's those kind of decision-making things that I find to be a lot of fun. So, yeah, it's quite the fun thing to do, you could say. I don't know, I often like finding ways to work around traffic problems, a little problem solving. I know the Big D hates that kind of stuff, which is yet another reason why you should be watching me and not that guy. I mean, ew, come on. He's just gross, like, you know. He streams often enough, and, like, he will just sit there, pick boogers out of his nose and eat them over and over all day long. I'm just kidding. He doesn't actually do that. Holy crap. Lol. Wow. I'm a jerk. But, just doing it for you guys. If you aren't smart enough to pick up on it, whenever I beef on the Big D, it's all in good fun. I don't actually have a problem with him. In fact, you know, we almost always do these stream things together, so it's like we're not actually mortal enemies. There was a time where I was like, hey, Dwyron, you know what we should do? We should have a fake feud. And his response was basically, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my entire life. And so, because of that, I have basically been carrying on this fake feud all myself. He doesn't want to stoop to my level and trash talk me in his videos. Although I think it would be very funny if he actually did. I would welcome that. I think it would be hilarious. It would be also hilarious to see how many gullible people would fall for it too, and be like, "Oh crap, these guys hate each other." But no, we're too sensible for that, or at least he is. I'm the big doofus here, who thinks that kind of thing is funny. Fake feud. Man, I was walking down the street one day and I saw Dwyron on the other side of the street, and you know what he did? He kicked a goddamn puppy right in the face. He kicked it and it went flying away like a football. I was horrified. I didn't think that he was capable of such things, but apparently he is, because I saw it with my own two eyes. I am not kidding. I saw it. Okay, fine. I'm kidding. I can't keep that stuff up. I can't live a lie. Although I haven't not seen Dwyron kick a puppy. I don't know. Let me ask you, audience, does he seem like the puppy kicking kind of guy to you? Because I kind of get a puppy kicking vibe from him. You know, just a little bit. Like, I wouldn't, like, he would kick some puppies but not others. He'd be selective in the puppies that he kicked, I think. Which is more than we could say for that guy, Cat in the Shadows. I mean, if we wanted to talk about real evil, real wickedness, he is just the most bent, evil person you will ever encounter. Like, he could take a lush farmland and turn it into ruin by just looking at it wrong. That's the power of evil this guy has. Yep, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out, Cat. You vile person. Lol. Okay. Oh man. So there we go. We have mansions, we have houses, we have a nice looking small town commercial area. You could say I am pretty pleased with all that. Oh, maybe not all this. You're living by a golf course. We're gonna call this King's house. Just People buy a golf course. Commute time. Okay, well that makes sense. There's no industry in this area other than, of course, the farms. But we will work on that next time, ladies and gentlemen, because we are just about to be finished with this session. Because we need to build more place stuff. And that, I think, can be done in this session. So if I go here, let's put one there. But that doesn't cover that. That's why we were going to put one there. Oh man. So, large fire station, fire hazard. Well, it looks pretty dangerous up here, so we are going to slap a fire station down. We're going to go to education, and this area is full of dumbasses. So, because nothing has come in here, we are going to spend money on a large high school. And we are going to put a large elementary school near it. And we'll adjust the funding later. Because we are reaching the end of an episode. I know. Very sad. And more than just an episode, we're reaching the end of a session. Which, as you know, is a whole bunch of episodes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to once again thank you for sticking with the Bone Canoe channel, being our friends, and watching our awesome stuff. More stuff in the future. Stay tuned.